County Supervisor Joel Anderson. We're going to hear from the President of the Chamber of Commerce, Jerry Sanders, and we're going to hear from the brand new President and CEO of the Building Industry Association, Gloria Holt Pfeiler. And we're going to add one more thing to the end. I've asked the developers to come up here and talk about what's being built so that you can understand why this is such innovative, groundbreaking work. So I'm Debbie Norwood-Ruane, and the Middlemarch Fund was created to finance housing for what we call the missing middle. People who earn too much to qualify for government subsidies, but not enough to afford the market rate rents in our high-cost area. Folks that are critical to our community, to our families, to our infrastructure. So the intent of the Middlemarch Fund is to provide an equity investment to build middle-income housing units all across the county. And this event is the kickoff. This here is Secoya on 5th. Thank you to the Murphy Brothers and Bishop Ventures for being a first-of-a-kind prototype. This actually will have middle-income units deed restricted for 55 years in some of the units. And the intent is to do many, 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 many more with your help. So with that, let me introduce our fabulous mayor, Todd Gloria.
Thank you, Debbie. Good morning, everybody. Listen, pull up a chair. We're going to be here in a minute. Not too long, I promise you. This isn't church, but this is an important day. We want to be here to celebrate and to announce this honestly important part of our housing solutions. I want to thank Debbie and for her leadership at Norwood Development Strategies and Civic Communities for recognizing what all of us have known. I see a lot of faces who've been in this fight for a while. We all know that there is an incredible need for middle-income housing in this community. But beyond that, I thank you, Debbie, because it's not just recognizing the need, but doing something about it. This is an all-hands-on-deck moment for San Diego, and all of you are here because you're willing to step up to be a part of that action, a part of that solution that communicates to more people. The people in this city, there's a place for them here. Right? The folks who work hard, who pay the bills, who make this city work, saying to them very specifically, we want you here in San Diego. I also want to thank Bishop Ventures and Murphy Company for hosting us once again here at Secoya on 5th. Yeah, a round of applause for that. We did this a couple of weeks ago when we announced my housing package for City Council, and we did it out on the street. This is vastly improved. It was an extremely hot day, but as I noted then, several dozen of us were out in the street in the burning hot temperatures during that direct sunlight. That's how committed we are to driving change. San Diegans don't do about outside of 72 degrees, right? And that was well north of 80, and we were out there sweating, but that's how much we're willing to sacrifice. That's how much hard work we're willing to do, endure whatever, to drive some change on this most important issue. When we were together, we launched, as I mentioned, our housing package known as Homes for All of Us, which is aimed at incentivizing the production of homes that are affordable to everyday San Diegans. We know well the luxury market takes care of itself in many ways. We know we have social policy that helps create low-income housing. It's this middle part that is unoccupied, and in my judgment as mayor of this city, is the single biggest barrier to our economic growth, development, and success. And that's why it hardens me to see all of you here today. This project is an example of what we need more of in San Diego. Let me restate that. We need a whole lot more, like a lot more of these kinds of projects in our city to address the need that we have in our community. I'm pleased to tell you that today at 2 p.m., our city's planning department will host its first virtual workshop to give San Diegans a chance to hear more about our Homes for All of Us package and to provide their feedback. It's not too bad for government time. 2 weeks ago announcing it, now the public workshop. We're looking to get something done on this. The time for talking is over, the time for action is now. That's again why I wanted to be here today. I think it's really important that we take these policy initiatives and run with them, get more of them done. One of the things we're sitting inside the Housing for All of Us plan is our blueprint for San Diego, which intends to speed up the community development plan process, the community plan update process, so that we can plan for more housing where it makes sense, close to jobs, in high concentration neighborhoods, places where we can help drive our climate action plan goals, as well as address this middle income part of the market. A part of this proposal includes the creation of our middle income housing working group, so we can tap great minds like Debbie's and many of yours to make sure that we can put more initiatives on the table that will drive more projects like this to become a reality. put in some context for you. Our planning department got some numbers the other day. In 2020, we issued only 3 building permits for homes that are available to moderate income earners in the city of San Diego. 3. That's the amount of the size need that we have in this community. That's why this project, this Middlemarch fund, is so important. We have a host of things that are in the housing plan. I'm not going to go through all of those with you all today. I just want you all to commit it to memory and then show up at the city council hearing to advocate for all of them, because we're going to need all of them and more if we're going to want to actually move the needle when it comes to housing production, particularly for the middle income folks. I hope that this demonstrates my administration's commitment to this particular issue. I hope it gives those of you who are looking at this particular initiative that we're announcing today confidence that the political will is there. And it's not just the idea of the mayor, right? We've had so far unanimous support of the city council for these initiatives because they too understand how critical this is for the success of their districts, for the success of our city, and for the people that, quite frankly, vote for them or not, whether or not they can stay in office. So, I want to conclude by thanking Debbie, Andy Phillips, and Civic Communities for what they're doing with the Middlemarch Fund. I see this as a critical complementary component to what we're trying to do from a policy perspective to bring the capital to the table to actually get these projects built. And I want to just, again, show my commitment to roll up my sleeve to do what it takes to give more people a sense that if they're willing to work hard, that we'll make a place for them here in San Diego. I also want to not conclude without acknowledging that we have really an alignment, not just in what's going on at City Hall, but some of our external partners in this effort. Debbie's great key to this. Jerry Sanders at the Chamber is critical. Gloria Holt Pfeiler at the BIA is critical. I think that when you see the support in the public and the private nonprofit sector, you recognize why we have this moment if we want to grab it. I'm here to grab it. I think you all are here willing to grab it. Do what it takes. Stand in whatever amount of sunlight. I see the developers are wearing helmets, so I wonder if you know something we should know. But again, whatever it takes to build the housing that we need to make our city successful, we're going to roll up our sleeves and we're going to do what it takes to make sure this city can work for all of us. I tell you, what we do at the city is critical, but what we do in partnership with the county can be determinative. And I'm grateful that also at the county, what I see is a tremendous amount of change, a real willingness to engage on issues like this one, as well as homelessness, which is very much a symptom of our housing crisis. And I have a great partner in our next speaker, who I'm pleased to introduce. We were buddies up in Sacramento where we were colleagues in the legislature. I think both of us are happy to be back in local politics and local government. It's not just about not having to fly to Sacramento. It's about being closer to the people, closer to the change, be able to tangibly see the work that we do every day in communities. Would you please welcome to the podium my friend, District 2 Supervisor, Joel Anderson.
When I saw the speaking order, I was grateful. And when Todd came up, I said, Todd, thank God you're going ahead. I don't have to speak nearly as much because you're going to hit all the issues. Well, that was a great speech, and you're absolutely right. Government does a wonderful job. For the last decade, we've pursued low-income housing. And we've created all sorts of programs for low-income housing. But we haven't done a great job for middle-income housing. And it took the private sector, it took people outside of government to bring this forward and move forward with it. And we want to partner with the city. The city is doing a great leader on housing, and everything you said is 100%, and I know all my colleagues agree too. And Debbie, you and your leadership, you've done a phenomenal job, and I was so excited to hear that you're coming to D2, my district, with more housing because we need it too. And we know that projects like this provide working families who are doing their best to be part of our communities a place to live so they don't have to commute from Temecula. So this is absolutely awesome. I want to thank everyone here for turning out because this is such a tipping point in San Diego's history of how we're going to go into the future and the homes and the opportunities that we're going to bring. So thank you again. And am I supposed to introduce somebody? Jerry Sanders? Oh, this is an easy one. Man, I've got the easiest job. I got a great guy leading off that I don't have to say much, and then I have a tremendous person that everyone has and knows better than they know me. Jerry, thank you so much. Thank you for the work you do at the Chamber.
I know come forward with this middle income fund, and that middle income fund makes so much sense. That it's ridiculous, and yet it doesn't fit any of the preconceived or any of the formulations that are in banks or in government or in investors or anything else. And I think we really need to rethink that. At the Chamber, we support all sorts of housing. We testify every week at the county or the city. Our staff is working with the BIA and all the other associations so that we can finally really get that push going. But this is an excellent example of what we need to be doing. And I think it's also unfortunate that housing has become so politicized. Maybe it always has been, but it seems to be more politicized now. And you can't be right on every issue. You can't be for all three, according to some people. You should only be one end or the other end, or in the middle. And I think we need to come together as a community and figure that out. And we'll look to our leadership at the city and county to help us with that. But it's really the people in this group that are going to have to help also. We're going to have to push harder. Business is pro-housing. I hear it every single day from our business partners. I hear it from our members. We're going to lose all of our workers because when they have to get into an apartment at $2,000 a month if they're lucky, and with $1,000 a child for health care, it's just not, you can't pencil that out anymore. And we're going to lose those people to other places, and then the jobs are going to follow those. We've seen some of that with businesses moving out of California to places that have cheaper housing, cheaper taxes, less that you have to jump through to get something done, and we can't allow that to happen. So we need to work together as a community, make this work, and I want to thank Debbie, and we really support the Middle Housing Fund, and we're going to work with her to make that a reality, but I'd ask all of you to help us do that. And with that, I'm probably going to, Lori, our new BIA Chair, President.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very happy in my 5th week here so far. Everybody's been very welcoming. I think that when we don't address the housing crisis in our county, we are losing our sense of community. Families are chasing housing, constantly moving, always looking for affordable rents, and this means our children don't know one another when they go to school. They grow up and they can't say, I remember so-and-so, I went to school with them since kindergarten. And so when we do that, we used to take that for granted. And losing our neighborhoods and losing our community is not good for anyone. Now, the San Diego County is planning to build, I cannot remember how many square feet of office space. I'm a housing person. I know that that office space is going to have a need for 68,000 units. And how are we going to do that? And most of those jobs will be middle-income jobs. And so when we think about putting this fund together, the Middlemarch Fund is addressing our housing issue at the level most important to all of us, which we've all said, to middle-income families. It is the heart and soul of our community. When we stabilize middle-income families, we begin to weave that fine community fabric that we're all so proud of. So I would encourage investment in the Middlemarch Fund. And investment is very personal. It is probably building a home for somebody that you know or somebody that you have hired. So thank you for letting me be a part of this. Thanks. Andy from Civic San Diego.
Good morning. Thank you, Lori, for the introduction. My name is Andrew Phillip. I'm the President and CEO of Civic Communities. And on behalf of our board and the team at Civic, let me tell you how proud we are to be here today and support the creation of high-quality, affordable housing to families in San Diego that are earning an average income. We are very excited to partner with Debbie to form the Middlemarch Fund. This is a private real estate fund. It's the first of its kind in San Diego. It's been created to raise capital for impact-motivated investors like Civic Communities, so that we can raise capital to support housing projects that provide housing units to families that are earning between 80% and 150% of AMI. One of Civic's major goals is to identify and participate in the creation of new housing. And we share Debbie's passion for the creation of housing opportunities for the missing middle, which now exceeds almost 1 million San Diegans in that category. We have all heard the term missing middle income, and we've talked a lot about it today. These are the individuals that make San Diego so popular, and they need a place to live here in San Diego. So in order to show our commitment, Civic has invested $400,000 into the Middle Income Housing Fund. forward to that as the residents get a chance to move in. The Middlemarch Fund provides fair returns to investors, ensuring that projects like Secoya include units that will remain affordable to families for years to come. We look forward to our continued partnership with Debbie and advancing our shared goal to assist projects that have housing opportunities for families looking for affordable places to live so that they can call San Diego home. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Debbie.
I'm so excited. This wouldn't be possible without my friendship, partnership, and sponsorship of Civic Communities and Maddie Kilkenny taking pictures on the board of Civic. Thank you, everybody, for believing in this, because we can do this. This unique effort to build housing would not be possible without the vision and without the support I've received from my career trajectory at Bank of America, at Fairfield Residential, at the San Diego Housing Commission, my affiliation with the Lucky Duck Foundation, and all of the folks who are here. I have probably partnered or made a loan to or done a business deal with you, and all of that is funneled through to this vision for the Middlemarch Fund. I wanted to look at the problem we have for housing, because as a former banker and developer and government official, in each category, housing crisis, housing crisis, housing crisis. Over almost 30 years, we're still using that term, and we've got exhaustion over it. It doesn't matter anymore. Well, it does matter. It still matters, and it matters now more than ever. And this is a way to augment the excellent work government is doing on the low, very low, permanent supportive housing, homelessness initiatives, and carry that housing continuum up into the middle range, which now is burgeoning. So I am trying to help our industries attract and retain the best talent. I'm trying to provide communities for our military to live in. Communities. I'm trying to help people who are spending too much on rent that can't afford to save money to buy their own home. This is an opportunity for us to step in and do something about that. And so I created this fund with the help of Civic Communities, and it's helping augment government, but it isn't necessarily public subsidies. It's developer innovation. Thank you to Gilman Bishop and the Murphy brothers. This is a unique opportunity here, and I'm going to ask them to come up after this and tell you what's being built and why it's so special to San Diego. But I want to just finish by saying thank you to everybody who's been here, who's helped me get to this vision, this dream, and this is the beginning, because we have the opportunity to change the future for San Diego City, for San Diego County, and for other counties. We can do this. We can build the housing we need to house our children and our parents and our employees. So thank you all for being here, and let me turn it over to Gilman and the rest.
Thank you to Civic Communities, for being a partner, to Mayor Todd, Gloria, and our elected officials. And I think one thing that's you need to know about Secoya and what makes it special is that it's a 100-unit project that is naturally occurring affordable housing that is 100% privately financed with traditional funding sources. And that's traditional construction loan with traditional equity partner. And so this is a solution for providing middle-income housing. And so thank you for recognizing Secoya early on as a model for this, for providing naturally occurring affordable housing. So just as a frame of reference, we were originally looking at 25 high-end units for this site. And that's what the zoning at the time would allow. And through Debbie's help, Gilman's vision, Scott, we were able to refocus and ultimately make a viable project that's now providing 100 units at in middle income housing. So I look around this room and I'm seeing a lot of our developer colleagues here and a lot of our traditional banking sources, and I'm encouraged because this is not necessarily our project, but this is our community's project, and the opportunity is for all of us to push forward with this vision And, we want to be a resource. We want to continue to, be partners in this together, provide more middle-income housing. So, thank you to everyone. Debbie, excellent job. Thank you.
We're really honored to have everybody here, and if anyone would like a tour, please sync up with one of our field personnel. They're all wearing hard hats and vests, so if you'd like a tour of the site, you're welcome to it. Thank you.
Lastly, Debbie asked me to speak a little bit to the unit sizes, and Russ had mentioned that we could have built 25 units here. They probably would have averaged 1,500 square feet rent for $4,000 a month. Instead, we chose to waive parking and build 350 to 550 square foot units, and that's what drives it into a naturally occurring affordable state, is that they're small units with limited parking close to amenities. And 400 units to the acre. It's a 10,000 square foot lot. You could have built 2 single-family homes. Instead, we built 100 units and 400 units to the acre.
All right. With that, I want to thank you all for being here. This is a tremendous building, so please do avail yourselves of taking a tour of it. It's really special to see something. I know I can't look at Ginger Hinsky because she's tearing up because she's on an active construction site. It's wonderful to see housing get built. We need to see more of it. So thank you all for